everyone, and welcome to Live, Laugh, Learn TV. I'm Dr. Carol Morgan, and this is...
Jeff Lauterbach.
Hi, I'm Erica.
And Erica is the owner of where we are right now. We are at Moth to a Flame Photography Studio. So thank you so much for letting us...
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show, too.
Yes.
So what we want to talk about today was something that Jeff and I kind of independently came up with on our own, but it's the same concept. You also own, or she also owns a marriage studio. So we're going to kind of tie it into marriage. And I'm divorced, and I've been divorced a long time, and I've always joked since my divorce with people. And I'm like, well, if I ever get married again, he can live across the street, you know? And they just laugh, and like, oh, that's so stupid. But I have some reasoning for that. I mean, I think, well, first of all, what do you guys say? He came up with an article that he wrote about duplexes for couples, right? So yeah. I know it sounds like a really stupid thing, but I think anyone who's married out there can probably say, oh, that might actually work. Because then you don't get mad at each other for not doing laundry or not cleaning up. Each person is responsible for their own thing. I don't see a problem with that. So what do you get? I mean, you're married.
I can see your point, absolutely, because I really can't stand picking up after an adult, really.
I think most of us would agree. I mean, unfortunately, sorry, Jeff, but I think a lot of married women would say that they have like another child.
Right.
You know,
an adult child.
An adult child.
Yeah.
So where did you come up with your idea?
Well, I've written a lot of relationship humor pieces, and I had a couple years ago for a magazine written a story on. I came up with that idea based just talking to friends about that same concept, how men and women living together, sometimes you have the differences. So
you always have differences.
But,
you know?
But the humor element of what was funny about it is how there would be the duplex idea came to be, where you'd have the main living area where the man and the woman would cohabitate, and then obviously being the goofy guy, I'm saying that second part of the duplex where the guy would get his man cave where he could retire, or he could retire for the evening in his private space. Or
why can't she do it too? Right.
Well, she would have that. She could make the main side how she prefers, and that would be where well, actually, I guess since it's a duplex, and this is something for the real estate developers out there that in the niche market, the duplex obviously would have, like any duplex, you have what is it, typically a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment on one side, and a 1 and 2 bedroom, or 1 or 2 bedroom with all the kitchen, the bathroom. So and that would be the man side and the woman side, but you would have to choose where the cohabitating space would be as well.
Right.
So how many marriages, how many people who are married that, you know, like not personally, but what percentage do you think would actually like this? You know, like some people would think, oh, well, why bother getting married? But part of me is like, well, why does our culture say that when you're married you have to live together? I mean, I understand like kids, you have kids and everything, but what if you don't have kids? You know, why can't you just kind of do your own thing without? Don't you think society kind of judges people who want to do things differently? You know,
I agree. I think they do, and I don't know why that is. It's kind of like what you were talking about, having different parts of the house, but you know, our kid, I mean, if you have enough space, then each kid gets their own individual bedroom. It's because they got their individual personalities, and they want their individual. I mean, I really think that each adult in the house should have their own personal bedrooms too.
I do too. And then some people would say, oh, well, then it's not a marriage if you're not like sleeping.
I mean,
in the same bed.
you could just split, whatever.
You can do that anywhere.
Exactly.
But like some people have a lot of problems sleeping. Like I'm a really light sleeper, and if I sleep with somebody that moves around too much or snores, I literally can't sleep. You know, and a lot of middle-aged men tend to snore.
I don't snore.
I'm sure you know.
I'm sure not.
I'm silent.
Of course.
Well, I guess that means that the duplex would have to be a 3-bedroom to have the main area, and then the woman's bedroom and the man's bedroom as separate wings.
Well, I guess if your head's going to that place, then yes.
Well, how would you guys feel? I mean, you're
Oh, sorry. Go on.
you're not married. How do you guys feel about the whole not sleeping in the same bed with your spouse? I mean, would you feel like, oh, I'm not as close and intimate, or would you be like, woohoo, I get a better night's sleep?
Well, I can see both ends because I'm a different type of guy. I'm more of a sentimental, hopeless, or romantic type of guy, but I'm also 6'5", 240.
Yeah.
So
you probably make up all the bit.
I like to sleep diagonally.
Do you really?
Then of course Boston the dog likes to be up there too. So,
okay.
and I know personally how fascinated you are with dogs.
Oh yes, yes, I'm a big dog person. Gives me a hard time about that. Well, that's another show topic. Like, if you're with somebody who, if you met somebody and they didn't like dogs or animals, or they just didn't want it in the bed, but you always sleep with your dog, like, how do you negotiate something like that?
Yeah. My husband loves animals, like we both love dogs, but he does not want the dog in the bed. So I'm gonna get it. I mean, I'm respectful of that. But when I was single and I had my dog, I mean, he slept with me every night. So, but I understand. I mean, who wants to sleep in dog hair? I don't know.
Well, an alternative to that is having a.
But if I had my own bedroom, I was.
You could do
my
anything
dog.
you want.
That's right.
The dog doesn't even have to come over to his duplex at all.
That's true. So that would be the reason for the 3-bedroom, because sometimes you could share the same bed, and other times you could retire to your own.
That's right.
And then if you have a dog or dogs, you could have like one of those Queen Anne couches at the foot of the bed where the dog could have his own space.
Furniture expense.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I love to do in all my classes is to get people to like think outside of the box. You know, like I teach a gender class, and I always ask the girls in there, like, when you get married, how many of you are going to change your name? And almost all the hands go up. You know, and I ask the guys, well, would you be offended if your wife didn't take your name? And a lot of them would. Some don't care, but I actually had a girl once years ago come up to me after that lecture and say, I thought you had to change your name. I'm like, no, honey, you don't have to. But you know, I think we all just get so caught up in traditions and we don't know why we're doing it, or cultural norms, you know, why we're doing it, you know, how it came to be that way, and why can't we just kind of do our own thing without being judged,
Right.
you know?
I agree with that.
I mean, even just like being single, like I know some single women, you know, in their 40s who've never been married and like being single, but you know, our society judges single women more than they judge single men, you know, because it's like, oh, you're just a bachelor because
Right.
you never got married and you're in your late 40s, cool, good for you, no big deal. But a woman's in her late 40s, never been married, what's wrong with
A
that?
spinster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that does tie into the duplex, because obviously now it's not just a duplex for married couples, it could be a duplex for couples who love each other and want to be together but don't want to get married.
Yeah,
And still
well,
have-
that's another thing.
Yeah.
There is this pressure to get married, but what if some people just, especially if you're not going to have kids, I mean, what's the purpose?
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I know we have to wrap this up, but you guys have any final thoughts on it before we say goodbye?
I think it's actually a good thing to think about a little bit more. I mean, and just, you know, it is thinking outside of the box, and you know, just because that's the norm doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you get nothing from this, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a silly topic and we had fun talking about it, but you know, I think the underlying message here is do your own thing, do what you want to do, not just because society says that you should do this. You know, whether it's living together or getting married or whatever it is, our society always tells us how we should be to be accepted, you know, and so if you want a duplex with your spouse, go get one, right?
Yeah.
We won't judge you for it, will we?
That's right.
Well, and you just decide whether you want the 2-bedroom or the 3-bedroom.
There you go.
And how the arrangement would be, but I think it would prolong relationships and marriages.
I do too,
Well,
actually.
good, yeah.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to say goodbye. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and thank you Erica so much for
Thank
being
you
here
for having
and
me.
letting us use your beautiful space
You're
here in
so
downtown
welcome.
Dayton. And we hope you'll come back next time and listen to our crazy fun talk. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Jeff will tell you where to find us, right? Like
Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Live, Laugh, Learn TV, and like our Facebook page at Live, Laugh, Learn TV, and visit our website at livelaughtlearntv.com.
All right, well, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time, and don't forget to live, laugh, and learn. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live, Laugh, Learn TV, and we hope you'll come back next time, and the next time, and the next time. And Jeff, why don't you tell them where to find us?
Sure, you could find us on our YouTube channel and on Facebook at Live, Laugh, Learn TV, and feel free to visit us online at livelaughlearntv.com for ongoing fresh content and articles.
So thanks again for joining us, and don't forget to live, laugh, and learn.
Bye-bye.
Bye.